The Indian film, Mrs. Chatterjee vs. Norway, which was released 2 months ago, is now back in the news after its release on Netflix. When the film was released in Indian cinemas on the 17th of March, a controversy arose after Norway's ambassador to India claimed inconsistencies in the facts presented in the film. Famous actress Rani Mukherjee has acted in this Bollywood movie. The film is based on a true incident that happened to an Indian couple in Norway about 12 years ago. In an article written in a newspaper, the Norwegian ambassador to India, Hans Jacob Friedland, claimed that the film contains many contradictions in facts about Norway and the things shown in it are completely false. Sagarika Chakraborty, on the other hand, claims that the Norwegian government is not telling the truth and is still spreading false rumors about the incident. It should be noted that this film is based on an incident in his life. About 12 years ago, the Norwegian Child Welfare Service, NCWS, took custody of Sagarika Chakraborty's 2 children. She lived in the city of Stavanger. Later, after diplomatic intervention by the Government of India and a lengthy trial in a Norwegian court, the 2 children were handed over to their families. He was later brought up by Sagarika Chakraborty in India. Sagarika said that till date, the Norwegian government has not expressed any remorse for the children being taken from their arms illegally. After the Norway incident, the incident grabbed headlines in India for months. At that time, there was a lot of resentment among the common people of India. In India, the echo of this matter was also heard in the parliament. The then Foreign Minister S.M. Krishna also made a statement in parliament on this issue. Now, after so many years, a film based on this incident has once again fueled this old conflict between India and Norway. But this confrontation is now cultural rather than diplomatic. After the release of the film, the Norwegian ambassador to India clarified that the parenting method in Norway may be different from that of India, but it cannot be said to be different in the mother's feelings or mother's love. He said in his article, Mrs. Chatterjee v. Norway has created an impression that it is not acceptable in Norwegian culture for Indian parents to sleep with their children or sometimes feed them with their own hands. Freudenland wrote, the film shows that the main cause of the incident was cultural differences. This is completely wrong. I don't want to go into the details of this incident, but I want to emphasize that in Norway, putting a child to sleep or feeding him with your hands cannot be grounds for handing him over to alternative care. He wrote that, I also used to tell bedtime stories to my children at bedtime, hug them and love them, and they would also sleep with us in our bed. Freudenland says that if a parent suddenly slaps a child on the cheek, sometimes a slap, for some reason, their child is not taken away from them. In such cases, the Child Welfare Service helps them by counseling them. More than 20,000 Indians live in Norway. He expressed hope that this film will not discourage Indians who want to go to Norway. An instance of a foreign ambassador commenting on a film made in India is rare. But despite strong opposition from the Norwegian ambassador, the makers of Mrs. Chatterjee vs. Norway are sticking to their stand. He has said that the film does not show any fabricated incidents, pointing out the shortcomings of Norway's so-called child protection system. In one of his tweets, the producer of the film, Nikhil Advani, blamed the ambassador of Norway in the country and wrote that following the tradition of respecting guests in India, a special screening was also organized for the ambassador of Norway a day before the release of the film. But after the film ended, the ambassador spoke threateningly to 2 women associated with the film. In his tweet, Nikhil also shared a video posted by Sagarika Chakraborty in which Sagarika refutes every comment made by the Norwegian government. Meanwhile, senior Congress leader and former Foreign Service officer Mani Shankar Iyer has said that it is well known that there are many flaws in the foster care system of children in many Western countries, including Norway. He said that scientific experiments have shown that children who grow up in foster care face more psychological problems than children who grow up in their families. On the other hand, in the midst of this benign, Mrs. Chatterjee vs. Norway controversy, the film is attracting a crowd in theaters in India and abroad. Bollywood journalist Taran Adarsh has said that the film has made a business of more than 15 crores in the first 10 days after its release.